Back on the point with Emily Kaplan and John Tortorella. Let's take you back to May 5th. Routine game between the Rangers and Capitals. Vanacek made 19 saves. Oh, and there was this whole Donnybrook that resulted in multiple fights and 100 penalty minutes in the first period alone. The Rangers and Capitals have become the Hatfield and McCoys of hockey lately, but this Tom Wilson saga was really the capper to a surreal roller coaster season for the Broadway Blue Shirts. Emily Kaplan has more.
At the start of last season, the lights were bright once again on Broadway. The Rangers' prize free agent, Artemi Panarin, was coming off an MVP-caliber season. They won the NHL Draft Lottery and landed Alexis Lafreniere with the first overall pick. New York started 2021 with high aspirations, and then the spotlight shifted.
Has Tony DeAngelo played his last game for the New York Rangers?
Yes, he has played his last game for the Rangers.
It started in January when the team kicked one of its promising young defensemen, Tony DeAngelo, off the roster. DeAngelo had just signed a $9.6 million contract extension 3 months earlier. But he fought with a teammate after a loss, which was the final straw for a player with mounting disciplinary issues.
We're following a developing story surrounding one of the NHL's top players.
Then came February, when Panarin took a mysterious leave of absence from the team. One of his former coaches in Russia alleged that Panarin assaulted a teenage girl 10 years earlier. The Rangers called the story a fabrication and a way to intimidate their star player for being outspoken on recent political events. Panarin was gone for over 2 weeks. The allegations were never substantiated. In March, the entire coaching staff was sidelined with COVID.
New York's minor league coach, Chris Knobloch, called up from AHL Hartford.
The minor league coaches led the team to a 4-2 record. And just as the season was set to close came the climax.
No, all heck breaks loose. There's Panarin being taken down by Tom Wilson, thrown around there. Everybody's grappling with everybody.
The league's biggest villain, Tom Wilson, committed what the Rangers would later call horrifying acts of violence.
There are lines that can't be crossed in this game, and it's just, to me, there's just zero respect for the game in general.
The Blue Shirts took umbrage to the soft punishment for the Caps' agitator, released their retribution via statement online, and then, 2 days later, the rematch started like this.
And now we got another fight going here. It is fight night in New York.
Certainly everybody in our organization was very disappointed. Certainly thought it warranted a suspension.
I think it sends a bad message, in my opinion. I think everyone pretty much agrees with that, and I just think that the league missed one here big time.
For his part, Wilson received the minimum penalty and was fined $10,000. The Rangers were fined $250,000 for violating code and speaking out against the league's disciplinary processes. Soon after the season was over, owner Jim Dolan fired coach David Quinn, GM Jeff Gorton, and team president, popular ex-Ranger John Davidson. Not all was lost for the Rangers in 2020-2021. The team produced a Norris Trophy winner in Adam Fox, who blossomed before our very eyes.
Score! Adam Fox! Beautiful shot.
Future household names like Keandre Miller and Igor Shesterkin got valuable reps.
Save Shesterkin!
And heading into this season, there's serious belief that maybe this team can actually turn a corner this time. And do it while staying off the back pages of the tabloids.
Well, as it pertains to the Tom Wilson New York Rangers situation, of course, people will look at that disparity of the fines, and that will be a talking point for sure. But what is the league's stance and your opinion on how they've handled this entire situation? Because, hey, as a wise man once said, controversy creates cash, but sometimes they've always been a little hands-off in situations like this.
Yeah, you know, it's tough. As I said in that last segment, the league is faster than ever. It's more skilled than ever. The players are more creative than ever. That's what the league wants to be highlighting. And so to see a player as skilled as Artemi Panarin get pushed around like this, and to see this type of melee, like, the league doesn't want that. We want to be highlighting different things. At the same time, last year when this went down, I had more SportsCenter hits in a 48-hour period than I had in my first 3 years at the company. So there's a lot of interest from fans. So it's this really weird paradox. As it pertains to the punishment, punishment, though, the league says they're beholden to do what the CBA tells them. And I know people see that $10,000 fine from Tom Wilson and that $250,000 fine to the Rangers, and they say, how? What? But they're literally going by the rule book.
Yeah, exactly. Not only that, that shot right there of Tom Wilson in the penalty box, that was played on highlights over you talking on SportsCenter multiple times. Let's bring in Greg Wyshynski, who is in D.C., who is covering this game. All right, Greg, listen, Ryan Reeves was injured in preseason. What is his status for tonight's game?
Ryan Reeves is in tonight, so ding, ding, the fight's on, I suppose. He says his body is a temple. He says he's ready to play tonight. So Ryan Reeves is in, confirmed by Coach Gerard Gallant. Now, you should know something about tonight before you think it's going to turn to a circus. In attendance tonight for the Rangers and Capitals game, Commissioner Gary Bettman, Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly, Department of Player Safety head George Peros, whom you'll remember the Rangers said should be fired for not suspending Tom Wilson for the Panarin affair. I was told by the NHL that they have had, quote, multiple levels of conversation with both the Rangers and the Capitals to let them know that, yeah, they expect some rough stuff, but not to expect it to be the same kind of circus that we saw last time when these two teams played.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.